Welcome back. Air Arabia's net profit rose 55% to reach 425 million dirhams for the full year 2012, according to a statement. So before we take a look at the day's business news, let's first take a look at the stock indices across the GCC. And in our top business story, continuing with the Solar Middle East exhibition, there are approximately 10 solar projects worth a combined total of $6.8 billion underway in the UAE, Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt, Oman and Morocco. With a combined focus on renewable energy sources in the Emirates, the UAE's leadership has committed to a 7% target by 2020. Within the UAE, a $600 million development in Abu Dhabi, Shams solar power station will displace 175,000 tonnes of CO2 per year, and its power output will be enough to power 20,000 homes. Additionally, the 12 billion dirham Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park will produce 10 megawatts of energy by the end of 2013, with a total productivity of 1,000 megawatts upon completion of the project in 2030. The project is in line with the Dubai Energy Strategy 2030.
There's a 10 megawatt project in Masdar, and then there's the projects with the Shams project, and that's going to be turned on any day now. So I think that there's some movement, but if you think about the global solar industry, it'll be about $100 billion last year and another $100 billion plus this year. Less than 1% of that is coming from the Gulf states. And so a lot of what we're doing is trying to figure out how much education we can do and how much data we can provide to really accelerate it faster. Today, the cost of solar is in the Gulf states is less than 10 US cents per kilowatt hour. So it makes money. So that's not the point anymore, right? So the question now is, we've done over 100 gigawatts, 100,000 megawatts of solar globally in the last 5 years. So, when will we earn enough respect to get the contracts to compete with natural gas and other technologies that are more familiar to people in the region?
I think from the recent importance that has been put for this industry, whether it's through organizing trade shows specializing in this, whether it's the launch of the UAE green economy strategy in the World Future Energy Summit in Abu Dhabi in January 2013, I think all of these are indicators to highlight the importance of changing the energy mix or power generation methods in the UAE. Definitely, we do think this is a growing market. We have started, and there's a lot to be done.
Meanwhile, today's event organisers, Informa Energy Group, stated that local government entities and utility agencies are discussing various policies and strategies to establish and maintain a solar market over the next three-day event.
Solar looks quite bright, not to sound too cliched, but if you look at the Middle East market itself, there is a huge solar energy resources available here, which is not tapped in the past. Our codependency has been on fossil fuels, mainly oil and gas sector. And right now we are looking at, if the region itself is looking at solar as an energy source here. The way we are tapping the technological advancements into getting solar and energy as a source of power seems to be the way forward, not only for UAE but also the Middle East and the MENA region.
And looking closer at the Middle East Electricity Exhibition now, which also opened its doors this morning at the Dubai World Trade Center, the event received just as much footfall as the Solar Middle East Exhibition. GCC countries are surging ahead with 430 power projects valued at $227 billion, with contracts totaling $32.4 billion in 2013 alone. The findings are based on a study which was released by the latest GCC Power and Desalination report from research firm Ventures Middle East. Company representatives stated that power demand in the region is set to triple over the next 25 years, with an annual growth rate of 10 to 15%. With an expected increase in population and an expanding commercial, industrial and residential sector, the region will require an additional 60 gigawatts of power capacity by 2015. The report further revealed that Saudi Arabia's power and water activity in 2013 will be worth $17 billion US, followed by the UAE and Kuwait, which signed off contracts totaling $4.2 billion US each.
Well, I think if you look at the Middle East Electricity Conference that we're standing at, it's about $34 billion in contracts that will be provided for power projects over the next 3 years. And all of that could be renewables for the same price, actually, because renewables are now the same price as new natural gas, as new nuclear, as new other types of power projects.
By 2015, we've actually got quite ambitious plans to grow. We're already the second largest capacity within the GCC as DUCAB. We have we talk about our capacity in terms of copper tons that we produce into cables. So more than 100,000 tons of copper we can turn into cables per year. But we expect to grow by 2015, but we're very interested in growing into more specialist areas, displacing imports into the GCC and keeping up with the development of the industrial sectors here in the GCC. We want to be producing the cables locally and supporting those industries.
10 billion dirhams worth of gold and jewellery was bought in the UAE last year, according to the latest figures from the World Gold Council. UAE residents and tourists spent 1.5 billion dirhams alone on jewellery in the fourth quarter of last year, up from 1.4 billion from the same period the year before, an increase of 6%. Meanwhile, total gold sales, including bars and coins in Q4 2012, rose 3% to 2.04 billion dirhams, up from 1.99 billion in Q4 2011. Globally, annual gold demand increased to an all-time record of $236.4 billion US last year. And the World Gold Council revealed that Q4 2012 was the strongest quarter for global jewellery demand since Q1 in 2011, as India, with the help of the Middle East, drove recovery in the sector.